now I have another one for you. I have another Naruto fight for you. 2v2. We got Sasuke with his EMS, Itachi alive, so he has his MS, versus Madara alive, only EMS, and Obito with his one MSI. So basically, there are no renegades in play here. We're using them with their most powerful Sharingans, the MS, the Mangekyo Sharingans. You know, of course, Sasuke and Madara have eternal Mangekyo Sharingans. So, let's get into this. They're fighting at the old Uchiha hideout where Sasuke and Itachi fought against one another. That's where they're fighting. Strength off rip, Madara and Obito got that, and that's Madara carrying heavily there. When it comes to like physical strength, Madara was fighting against Hashirama. And and Hashirama was probably stronger physically, but since he fought him so much and for so many years, he actually got stronger. And in some of those exchanges, he had the upper hand, and he did. So, Itachi and Sasuke in those forms, I'd say they're actually, closer to one another, but Madara is in a league of his own. And then Obito is probably like the weakest. If they went to the gym, Obito would probably lift less than everybody. But Madara would have that shit, right? Striking power, lifting power, I give that shit to Madara. So he wins strength for his team. Speed, I'm also giving that shit to Madara. Madara has the ability to basically slow shit down. So people coming at him look slower. He can dodge all that shit. Anything that Sasuke and Itachi, and Itachi and Sasuke speed with Sasuke being nerfed and, Itachi, being who he is. And they ain't slow compared to other characters, but Madara Uchiha, nah, boy, I wouldn't do that. Never that, son. Like you Itachi fans are under that bullshit, You gotta calm down and understand that Madara, his MS allows him to like slow shit down. So he can see shit coming at him. So he's gonna be able to react to anything they fucking throw at him. Anything. He sees the black flames come, he's already, running from that shit. Right? Because you can run from that shit. Itachi ran from Sasuke, or Sasuke ran from Itachi's, you know, fire, right? Which makes him fast, but not fast enough. And I didn't even bring up Obito. Obito can, teleport behind you, and you won't like he was over here, but then he goes over there. That's Kalamoy, you know, and that's Obito doing that, Nah, man, they're the faster ones. Durability wise, I'll give it to Sasuke and Itachi. I'm saying for me, I see them bringing out their Susanos first. All right, and I'm going based off of how they fought against Kabuto. Kabuto, let's be honest, man. Kabuto is not as powerful as Obito and Madara. These boys are gonna be like, yeah, let's do that thing and let's do the whole, bow and arrow and sword slashy things with the Susano, like we used to when we were kids. And that's what they're gonna do against Madara. And that gives them, durability. Now Madara has a full body Susano and he does have that. Obito is not the most durable. He ain't. Out of like those four, he's not. and I'll give it to them because I know that they'll be using their Susano for most of the fight, and it's gonna be harder for them to damage Sasuke and Itachi at first. So I'll give it to them. But you could easily give it to Madara and Obito if you wanted to. I won't be upset. Endurance wise, Madara and Obito, that comes from Madara's end. Madara carrying that shit heavily. But it's definitely Madara and Obito with the endurance. Intelligence wise, I'm giving it to Sasuke and Itachi with Itachi's intelligence. Yeah, when Sasuke is actually kind of smart too, but Itachi, he's also smart, very intelligent, much like Minato. He was a prodigy in his own ways too. Yeah, he joined the Anbu at a young age. And in Itachi's little, flashback episodes and shit in the anime, it showed him fighting kids at school and then doing like real work for the Anbu on the side. He's like, yo, that's my fucking clone over there doing that shit. And I'm over here, on a real dangerous mission. I'm not even trying to fight those boys over there. you know, Madara is really smart too, but I have to give it to Itachi. Now, when it comes to experience, you can't fight about this shit. Nobody can. It's definitely Madara and Obito. They're older than Itachi and Sasuke. They had more years to, get that under their belt. They've seen more. Another thing, man. Close skills go to Madara and Obito. With Madara carrying that part heavily, I'd say um, it would be Madara, Sasuke, Tachi, Obito. Obito was not the greatest of taijutsu um, but Madara definitely got that shit. Um, range skills, I'm giving it to Sasuke and Itachi. Like I said, when they pull out their Susanos, they have those, long range moves they can use, with the arrows and the Amaterasu and the Yatan mirror. They can hit them with some, powerful attacks. Now, will it do anything? It might. They might be able to catch them a little bit, but it won't be doing what some people think. A recovery goes to Madara and Obito. We'll go based off the fact that, and like they got outside help, but they came back, right? All these people came back, right? Except Itachi, right? Itachi never came back to life. He came back to life as a zombie, not as who he was, right? They had to sacrifice a body to bring him back to life. Sasuke got brought back to life with the powers of Hagoromo, but that doesn't come into play here, right? Because Hagoromo's not here and Sasuke's not using that form in this fight. Because it says no renegades are involved in this battle. Madara lost to Hashirama, but he survived. He faked his death with Izanagi. Obito almost died in the rocks, but he was, he saved himself without knowing it. I'm giving that shit to Madara and Obito. Hacks, I'm giving it to Madara and Obito. Madara and Obito can heavily there. Out of everybody on the field, the most unique MS ability comes from Obito with the Kamui. Hitting him's still gonna be tough. Now I do think they'll figure it out and they can hit him, but it ain't gonna be something they got like right away. They ain't gonna be getting that shit off right away. Not on him, man. But Madara also has a full body Susanoo. That comes out later in the fight, I believe. Madara is the type of guy who likes a challenge and shit. He's like, okay, you two got your thing going on, but he's like, hey man, I'm gonna step back and show you what it really looks like. Boom. You know, and he pulls out the full body Susanoo, right? Tsukiyomi and Amaterasu. You know, Amaterasu's gonna come out during the fight for sure. Um, I don't see it doing much. Sasuke Blade, he can't hit Obito with it, and Madara, Madara is not that dumb. He'll know what about that. Um, Hacks go to Madara and Obito, and the environment will go to Madara and Obito as well. Overall, this fight ends up being Madara and Obito winning this shit. High difficulty. Be cool, calm the corner, and let me know what you think about this fight in the comments below. Remember, Sasuke is restricted, no 6-tone light, just the MSIs. So is Madara with only MSIs. So is Obito with only his Mangekyo Sharingan. And then a live Itachi. Those are the conditions. But be cool, calm the corner. Let me know what you think about who wins in the comments.